A low odometer reading does not guarantee a reliable used Ute. Conversely, seeing 300,000 kilometers on the dash doesn't mean a vehicle belongs in the scrapyard. This timeline illustrates the 160,000 kilometer trap. It might seem safe, but if those kilometers came from constant overloading, short trips, and neglected maintenance, internal wear is immense. Conversely, a 300,000 kilometer highway Ute with strict documented servicing is healthier. Regular oil changes preserve mechanical integrity. It is important to acknowledge that there are zero guarantees. No Ute is promised to reach extreme mileage without major intervention, because parts wear out and maintenance schedules only do so much. Buying a high-kilometer work vehicle requires a shift in mindset. You have to abandon the superficial comfort of the dashboard numbers and rely entirely on the verifiable security of service invoices and mechanical simplicity. Coming in at number 5 is the Ford Falcon FG Ute. This is a rear-wheel drive Australian workhorse, strictly for buyers who do not need low-range capability or high ground clearance. It excels at highway driving and light trade work. The key feature on this scorecard is the naturally aspirated 4.0-liter Bara engine. When you pair this engine with strict oil changes and cooling system maintenance, it consistently delivers longevity at very high kilometers. The mechanical checks here are highly specific. You need to inspect the differential bushes and the tail shaft center bearing, and carefully check the tray structure and tow bar for any signs of heavy overloading or impact damage. Because of the badge on the front, many of these Utes have been lowered, modified, or abused in burnouts. Avoid anything with cheap performance tuning, mismatched tires, or unexplained driveline noise. The math here is simple. Securing a standard, unmodified work vehicle with a believable history is a safer financial decision than buying a low-kilometer custom build. Number 4 is the first-generation Mazda BT-50, known as the UN series. This is a traditional, work-focused diesel that sacrifices modern refinement for mechanical directness and raw capability. As highlighted on this scorecard, the 3-liter diesel engine requires uncompromising maintenance to reach high figures. You must confirm the timing belt replacement history and check the cooling system, including the radiator and water pump, for any evidence of overheating. If you are looking at a manual, the clutch and dual-mass flywheel need a thorough inspection. For automatics, demand evidence of fluid servicing and test the shifting when fully warm. Also check the front suspension, steering, and wheel bearings. Make sure to physically test the low-range and four-wheel drive engagement. Find an appropriate dirt or gravel surface to confirm the transfer case and hubs are locking in correctly. Because of its agricultural nature, this older drivetrain only survives through strict upkeep. Prioritizing verified timing and cooling records over the cosmetic presentation of the paint or interior is the only way to buy one safely. At number 3 is the Mitsubishi Triton ML. The strategy here is deliberate. You want the early ML generation to secure the larger 3.2-liter 4M41 engine, avoiding the smaller 2.5-liter diesel found in later models. As the scorecard shows, this gives you a strong, reliable engine paired with proven four-wheel drive hardware. It's a drivetrain that is deeply familiar to workshops across Australia, meaning parts and repair knowledge are widespread. There are specific vulnerabilities to check. Verify the recall status on the rear axle U-bolts, which affected a number of ML Tritons, and confirm the timing chain system is quiet and free of leaks.
Be highly critical of aftermarket modifications. Large tires, suspension lifts, and heavy steel accessories act as a force multiplier, placing massive stress on wheel bearings, steering, and driveline components. A standard factory specification ML Triton with documented servicing offers a higher return on investment than a heavily modified touring build that has spent years dragging extra weight across the country. This diagram illustrates a strategy challenging the preference for diesel. Opting for the Toyota HiLux N70 2.7-liter petrol engine bypasses catastrophic failures of turbochargers, diesel injectors, and particulate filters. You mitigate immense financial risk, but must accept significantly higher fuel consumption and slower acceleration. As detailed on the scorecard, the primary physical checks shift to engine mounts, tray mounts, and ignition components. You also need to confirm the VIN against the National Recall Database, particularly if the vehicle is fitted with genuine accessories or used for towing. Keep a close eye on the price. The HiLux badge creates an inflated market, so beware of the Toyota badge tax. Paying a premium for a neglected vehicle simply because of the logo on the grille is a fast track to financial regret. For buyers covering moderate annual distances, a simple petrol engine with perfect maintenance records is a safer bet than a slightly cheaper diesel with a questionable injector history. Taking the #1 spot is the first-generation Isuzu D-Max RC. It earned this position through the commercial-grade reputation of its 3-liter 4JJ1 diesel engine, a motor built for hauling heavy loads day after day. As this scorecard shows, that extreme longevity requires strict adherence to servicing, particularly monitoring injector operation, replacing injector seals, and meticulous fuel system upkeep. This leads to the major evaluation trap. The 4JJ1 engine is so durable that it can easily mask a chassis that has been completely fatigued or destroyed by years of harsh mining use, beach driving, or extreme towing. You also have to navigate the hidden risks of previous owners. Poorly installed dual battery setups, driving lights, and cheap electrical accessories can create systemic reliability problems across the vehicle. No engine reputation can negate a cracked or heavily corroded chassis. When evaluating a D-Max, the detailed usage history and underbody inspection are far more critical than the badge on the engine cover. This checklist outlines the strict inspection protocol you need to follow before buying. Start the vehicle from a completely cold start to listen for rattles or harsh idling, and physically review the invoices for oil, coolant, and transmission servicing. Next, interrogate the vehicle's structural history. Check the tray mounts and tub condition, inspect the tow bar for heavy wear, and examine the chassis rails for signs of overload fatigue or cracking. Audit all accessory wiring and suspension modifications to ensure they were done professionally. Check that the tire load ratings and sizes match across all 4 wheels, as mismatched rubber puts uneven strain on the driveline. Finally, run a diagnostic scan to check for hidden fault codes. Complete a PPSR search for financial encumbrances, confirm all manufacturer recalls are finished, and arrange an independent inspection with a diesel and 4-wheel drive specialist. A durable engine is useless if it is bolted into an overloaded, neglected chassis. Survival in the high-kilometer Ute market requires ignoring the odometer reading and buying the verified history.